This is the plaintiff, Gail Keitel. She says she hired the defendant to replace her front stoop, and 2 weeks after the job was complete, one of the stones came loose. A couple of months later, the cement between the stones began to crumble, and he repaired it, but it happened again. Now, less than a year later, it's falling apart. And the only way the defendant will fix it is if she gives him another $1,100. Is he crazy? His work should last for years, not a couple of months. And she's here suing him for the $2,620 she paid him, plus lost wages. This is the defendant, Robert Benedetto. He says the plaintiff didn't want to spend the money replacing the stones on her original stoop with the same ones and opted for a cheaper, thinner stone. He did what he was hired to do, even though he told the plaintiff to use the thicker stones. He can't be held responsible for the lifetime of the stoop. He doesn't know how it's being treated and refuses to repair them without being paid additional monies because 2 years have gone by. He's accused of not cementing a relationship. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for additional work performed and lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to replace her stoop, and the job was terrible. Only lasted a couple of months. But the defendant says the plaintiff wanted it done so cheap, so tough. It's the case of you messed up my stoop.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome in.
All right, Gail Keitel, you are suing your former workman, Mr. Benedetto, to the tune of $2,620 that you say he owes you. You want him to return the money you paid him to do a job, plus all of your lost wages when he's come back to repair the job. All right. What are we talking about? It's a front porch, is it?
Front stoop.
Okay. And the steps that lead to it.
Yes.
All right. So why did you need for it to be changed to begin with?
Okay. I've been living in the house since 1986, and the stones that were on the stairs were always good. But I saw after 30 years, they needed repair.
What needed repair? Were they cracked? Were they moving? Were they
They were moving. The cement had let go, and some of them were chipping.
Okay.
They're individual stones.
Okay.
Large tiles.
How thick were they?
This thick.
What's that? How thick were they? 3/4 inch?
Maybe 3/4 inch.
Okay.
Maybe thinner. And I Googled and I found him, and he came and he gave me an estimate.
Now, in that estimate that he gives you, he tells you to put what on the steps, sir?
2-inch bluestone.
2-inch thick.
Thick.
Bluestone.
Right.
Why should that be on the steps?
Well, the tread itself at 2 inches is one large piece that goes
okay.
across.
So that's why you'd want to do one large piece.
Right.
Is to not have mortar in between.
Right. Because with the mortar in between, water can get in there, freezes up, and then cracks. And this causes lifting of the tread.
Now, that was a more expensive repair. That would have been how much?
The original job went for $25.50.
And then you didn't want to spend that much, and you told him, look, these individual tiles did fine for all these years,
Correct.
So I just want you to replace what I had there.
Correct.
And that's what he did. And then that didn't work very well.
No, it did not.
No. He put him in for the first time when, October 2017?
He put him in, the job was completed on 11/3/17.
November 17, okay.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Mid-November, they were all the tiles started coming up. So I asked him to please come back. And he did.
Okay.
There you go. So you could see the cement in between is just all
Can you
crumbling.
walk over there and show me the things I should be looking at? Wait till you get there to speak.
If you could see that all the cement was already crumbling, and this was after 2 weeks after he completed the work.
What am I looking at? Chunks right in the center of the picture.
This,
Yeah, what's
that's
that?
the cement that came loose.
So you actually piled it up there because it came loose from in between?
Yeah. Don't you see the big gap here?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm asking you if that's what that
Yes.
is. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. You could see all of it is coming away. A lot of it I brushed to the side, rather than just leave it there. See all this?
Yeah.
A lot of it I put down here, but to show you,
What's the deal with the cement you used for this?
I used the cement that comes in a bag, pre-mixed, and we use that. All you have to do is add water And this is a
Well,
mortar.
you have to have the right amount of water. There can't be
Right.
you can't do it in the rain. There's certain techniques to this to make sure
Right.
this kind of thing doesn't happen, right?
Right. And
I mean, yes, she used thin tile for the steps that you shouldn't use, but the problem we're having isn't that the tile's cracking under the weight of the use of the steps. The problem that we're having is that the mortar is a problem. So how is that related to her?
I never seen mortar crack like this. And,
Yeah, it's strange, right? You'd agree that that's not how mortar should behave.
This is not normal for me.
Yeah.
I've been in this business since 1975. And believe me, I know what I'm doing. I've done many jobs.
So
I got
you
photos
think you
of
just had
jobs
bad
that
cement?
I've done from day one. We
Okay.
do
But
impeccable
I only
work.
have the concern about one of your jobs. I believe you, okay? But I have a concern about this job. This is the only job I have in
Well,
front
I
of me.
can't understand that situation. I
Right.
really don't. I do not understand it. To me, either somebody who's lifting them up, it could be, you know.
Yeah,
or-
Martians could have come, but that's not
Well,
likely.
that's a
Go back to the
possibility.
podium, please, because the thing is, she wants a nice house and she wants things to work well. And instead, what's happening is these things are coming
But
loose.
the reason why it didn't adhere is it didn't have the proper weight on top of it.
Then why did you do it? If you're the expert, then tell her, no, lady, I'm not doing it.
She insisted on doing it.
Just go
because
have
she didn't
someone
want
else do it. I won't do it. You're just going to call me and complain.
I tried to help her because she was complaining that she was limited in funds and that she wanted to do it. If I could help her.
Yeah, but I'm not buying that the reason the mortar failed is because the 3/4 tile didn't have enough weight. So you call him when it fails. He comes and you do what? You put more mortar on top, right?
No, I redid the steps.
How did you redo the steps?
I took them apart and reset them.
You took all of the tiles out?
Yes.
Is that
I reset
true?
'em.
I know that he added more cement.
No.
And but
Did he
that's,
take away all of those tiles and reset them?
yes, he did.
Okay. And then what happened? When did you have to call him back?
He reset them mid-November 2017. Late November 2017, I called him again. They were all up again. And he told me he would have to wait until the spring because he can't reset them with frost. I said, fine. So I lived with that, all went along.
The
Luckily,
jugs of water so nobody steps on them?
well, yeah, I don't want the
Yeah.
mailman getting hurt, you know. Early March, he did come and he did fix them. But May,
How did he fix them in March?
the same way.
What did you do with the cement that was there?
Took it out.
How did you take it
can't
out?
put cement over cement. You have
Right,
to, you have to,
you
you have
can't.
to remove it.
How did you take it out?
I used a Hilti, which is a vibrating machine that's like a chipper, and you chip out all the cement, remove it, and reset it.
Let me ask you a question. So now he
Sure.
fixes it again in March.
In March of 2000.
How long did that one last?
In May of 2018, it came loose again. So I called him, and he did cement them again, and I thought this would be the last time. However,
By the way, he's not charging you any of the times that he comes to fix it.
no, he's not.
Okay, and then
No,
what?
he's not. In April of 2019, which is exactly 9 months later, 10 months later, they're up again. So I texted him, and he tried talking me into paying another $1,100 to fix the problem.
To do it right, like you should have done it to begin with?
Well, he said you
Because you
need to-
really should have done it that way to begin with. The guy told you to do it that way to begin with.
I didn't have the funds. I mean,
Then
that's the
don't do it.
truth.
Save the funds and wait and do it right. Because we have a saying in Spanish, lo barato sale caro. The cheap comes out. She looks at him. Why? Does he speak Spanish?
speaks Spanish,
Okay.
yeah.
The cheap comes out expensive.
Yeah.
All right,
But still, I did think that if I paid a job $1,500, it should last
I
1
understand
year.
that.
I mean, it
I
should.
see your side of things.
Yeah.
I also see your side of things, where you tell the lady, don't do it this way, and she does it this way. And in fact, your text, when you say, we've got to come up with a more permanent solution, I assume we're both tired of it, he immediately tells you, I told you not to do this. And you don't say, no, you didn't. You say, well, okay, what's it going to cost me? Because he did tell you not to do this. So now I see both your sides. But now what? Because now you've hired somebody else. You've paid the somebody else $1,600. What did that somebody else do? They redid the steps with the 2-inch all the way one piece, right? Let's see how it looks now, which is exactly how he told you to do it.
But not for $1,600. He fixed it for $1,600. He wanted almost $3,000.
No, he wanted 2,000 something. How much was he?
25 was the original.
2,500. You would have paid him 2,500. You would have had what you have today, which has now cost you 3,100.
Yeah, I mean, I was really, really hoping to get the money, to get some money back to
Oh,
offset
I know.
that price.
You don't want some money back. You want all the money that you paid him for the steps and the stoop. And then you also want him to pay you back $320 for the 4 hours original repair, and then $160 for every time he came after that, and then another $320 for showing up here today to litigate the
She's
lawsuit
making more
you
than I
filed.
am.
So if the homeowner wants it done so cheaply that it can't be done well, should the contractor refuse to do the job?
If he has the morals, yeah, but otherwise, you need the money, do the job.
You agree with that?
I mean, I say personally, I wouldn't do the job because then someone's just going to complain about how poorly you did the job, even though they didn't want to pay
You know that's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, going inside the courtroom.
You have sued for $2,620.
Could I add something,
All
Your
right.
Honor?
No. Counterclaim you have against her, you want an additional $1,500. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, I got to close the business today. There's no business, and we're losing a lot of money.
So
And besides
why does she have to
coming
pay
here-
you for that? You're the guy who decided to do it that way. This is how it looks now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Now the top is also done over.
What did you do in the original job? Just the steps?
No, stone veneered the whole stoop,
Okay.
which is 2/3 of the job. Putting on the treads.
Why do you suppose she redid it? She apparently redid it in this picture. She redid what?
Oh, she redid the surface, the top landing.
Yeah. Okay,
Bottom
listen to
step
me.
should be-
You charge her $1,500. The other guy gave her perfection for $1,600.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
The other
what of your job
guy
helped the other guy?
replaced my stone. All he did was replace the stone here. I veneered this whole stoop from both sides. That's a lot of work.
Come on up. Maybe you can explain it better. Who are you anyway?
I'm Diane Benedetto, his wife.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm concerned about is that he's using his lingo
That's
from
okay.
his profession. And I wanted to be clear that when he says he's veneered the stoop, he went to a house that had a concrete stoop.
Okay. And the veneer, I need you to walk over here and explain to me what the veneer is, because you yell less than your husband.
All of this
That stuff.
brickwork.
So that's what we're
between
calling
and the
veneer,
side.
the brickwork
And the
that is
side.
okay, because that used to be just concrete.
And that's what you got for $1,500, where $1,600 covered a repair of treads. And then something up here.
Well, yes and no, because for $1,500 he didn't just say I'm going to do veneer. He said that he was going to do steps, which have never worked. It has been a problem
Yeah,
for
it
a
was
solid
all
year.
inclusive.
So that's my part. So when we look at what the new guy did, the new guy did everything in gray, and your husband did everything in brick, which is still there.
Correct.
Okay.
And then makes
long
me
have you been
wonder
married?
that when this was not done by her wanting to keep the price low, may have been the source of
Of course it is. Of course it is. But in fairness to her, the other steps were also falling apart. It wasn't just the top steps falling apart.
No, but it could seep down.
Yeah, but the other steps, I don't know about seep down. The bottom steps were also having the same concrete problem. See how it's missing in the bottom steps? Now, how long have you two been married?
46 years.
Okay, so you've been speaking for him for how long? 46 or okay? Okay. So the question is, are you entitled to anything back? And if so, what would you be entitled to back? And then the question is, should all these times you've had to go back and repair your work, should you now be entitled to get paid for? I can dispense with your counterclaim immediately and tell you no, and I am going to order him to return a portion, because the truth is you do have what he is saying. They didn't redo that part. This was never going to be a $1,600 job. It was always going to be exactly what he had told you from the beginning, that to do right would be like a $2,500 job. I'm going to order him to return to you $500, a third of it, which puts us pretty magically at the figure that he had quoted you originally to get it done right. That's my verdict.
So the plaintiff is going to get some money back. Mr. Benedetto, what do you think about it?
Well, I think
If you'll
that
step over there,
the,
man, please. No, over there. Directing traffic, yeah.
I think that the homeowner should listen to the contractor, because the contractor is not out to deceive the homeowner. The homeowner had financial problems, and I think I learned my lesson not to get involved with something that's...
The judge said you should have said no. Not
Yeah,
going to do it.
That's true. That's true, because it cost me, and I was trying to help her.
A lot of time and that. Well, good
Okay.
enough.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Thank you. You're a good spokesperson for your husband. All right, Ms. Keitel, you should have listened to him in the beginning too. So you're not getting everything back. You were asking for too much, don't you think?
Well, what I would have liked is all the times that I had to stay home. I'm a nurse, and I had to stay home so he could come back and repair
yeah,
that.
well, but he did, and he wasn't charging you either.
But I was hoping to get some of that money back with all of my lost wages. Other than that, I mean, you know, the judge is the judge.
Yeah. Okay. But
Okay.
you got $500 back. I think you're lucky to get that, quite frankly.
Do you?
I do.
All right, that's your opinion.
Okay. All right. Who knows?
But thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Congratulations. All right. Harvey?
I mean, pretty simple. If you want something done so cheaply, you got to ask the contractor, is the quality going to be the same as if I paid retail? And if it's not, what's going to be different?